everything you are doing right this instant. It is no coincidence that this message has found its way to you on February 8th. There is a reverent silence in the spiritual corridors right now. A sudden pause in the frantic activity of the invisible realm because something fundamental has shifted deep within your structure. As I was preparing to bring this revelation to light, I was overtaken by a chilling certainty. You have awakened a force that the majority of humanity takes lifetimes to even glimpse. I am not speaking of a learned talent or an intellectual technique you picked up from a book. I'm referring to a raw, primordial power that grew in the shadows of your pain, silent as a seed buried in the dead of winter, until it suddenly became a tree whose canopy touches the heavens and whose roots are currently disturbing the very bedrock of hell. You have likely felt this shift, a strange vibration in your chest, or a sudden clarity amidst chaos. This awakening is delicate, however. Many chosen ones feel the surge, but lack the structure to hold it, risking a collapse back into old patterns. That is why I often speak of the 3 keys to a prosperous life. It is not just a collection of words. It is a practical map designed specifically for souls like yours, to wake up to who you truly are, to heal those invisible locks that have held you back for decades, and to expand with stability. We need to learn how to receive, sustain, and multiply our blessings without that lingering sense of guilt. This trilogy, available as both an e-book for deep study and an audiobook for immersion, is the toolkit for your next phase of existence. If you feel ready to stop stumbling in the dark and start walking with precision, consider this your invitation. You can find the link in the pinned comment or description below to begin this journey. It is a limited opportunity to finally master your own energy. Now, let us return to this frequency you have unlocked, for understanding it is vital to your survival. Neville Goddard taught us that imagination creates reality, but what you are manifesting now goes far beyond conscious creation. It is an automatic, spiritual alchemy. You have mastered something that the Diabo, the personification of all negation, doubt, and malice, is desperate to comprehend. And the divine irony is this: the darkness wants to learn how you do it, but it is constitutionally incapable of replicating it. The frustration in the lower realms is palpable. They have been forced to change their strategy from attack to observation. You are no longer merely a target to be destroyed. You have become an enigma to be deciphered. Permit me to pull back the veil of the invisible world for a moment. There are hierarchies of observation surrounding you. Angels, or forces of higher consciousness, document human reactions to update the cosmic record. The standard human pattern, ever since consciousness fell into a body of flesh, is tragically predictable: action and reaction. The world hurts you, and you bleed. Someone betrays you, and you resent them. Injustice occurs, and bitterness takes root. It is the law of retaliation, the eye for an eye, the wheel of karma spinning without end. The entities that feed on this dense energy rely on this predictability. When you react to hatred with hatred, you become a host, a repeater of the dark signal. But your spiritual file was recently marked with a rare insignia. The celestial observers paused their pens. Why? Because you broke the cycle. You realized what we call frequency mastery. In the physics of the spirit, just as in the physics of matter, energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. Most people absorb negativity like a sponge, sickening themselves, or they reflect it like a mirror, injuring others and perpetuating the war. You, however, did the impossible. You transmuted it. If you recognize this shift in your own life, if you feel you are handling battles differently than you did a year ago, click the like button now to affirm your growth. Understand the magnitude of this. Frequency mastery is the divine capacity to receive the lead of another's malice, and within the secret laboratory of your heart, transform it into spiritual gold before it ever touches your essence. It is not blocking, it is not denial, it is transmutation. When hatred was thrown at you, instead of throwing it back, you dismantled it. You stripped it of its intent and used its raw energy to fuel your compassion and your strength. Where the enemy expected to see you fall into depression or blind fury, he saw you rise with an inexplicable wisdom. The poison destined to kill your soul became the very medicine that cured your vision. Think about the last few months. There were moments when the attack was so precise, so perfectly designed to hit your deepest insecurities, that any other version of you would have collapsed. But something within you, the I Am, the awakened divinity, processed the pain differently. You felt the blow, yes. This is not about spiritual anesthesia, but before the bitterness could install itself in your blood, an internal operation took place. You did not become cynical, you became discerning. You did not close yourself off to the world. You became selective with your energy. The attack that was written to be your ruin became your curriculum for ascension. This is why the frequency is forbidden to them. The lower entities operate on a frequency of lack and separation. They cannot process the energy of transmutation because it requires a spark of the divine creator, which they do not possess. When you transmute pain into power, you become invisible to their tracking systems. They look for the signature of fear, and they find only the signature of faith. They look for the vibration of a victim, and they find the vibration of a master. You have essentially stepped out of the matrix of suffering while still walking in the physical world. This brings us to a critical realization about your environment. You may have noticed that certain people are drifting away, or that sudden conflicts have arisen with those you once trusted. Do not mourn this. It is a biological and spiritual necessity. As your frequency rises, it acts as a repellent to anything that vibrates at the level of your old self. If you are committed to understanding these signs and navigating this lonely but glorious path, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so we can continue to decode these signals together. The silence in the spiritual corridors is not just out of awe, it is out of anticipation. They are waiting to see what you will do with this power. You see, once you learn to transmute the lead of personal attacks into gold, you inevitably graduate to transmuting the lead of the collective atmosphere. You walk into a room heavy with tension, and without saying a word, the atmosphere lightens. You speak to someone who is grieving, and your presence acts as a balm. You are becoming a living portal. However, there is a danger here that we must address with absolute sobriety. When you become a generator of this high-frequency light, you become a lighthouse in a very dark ocean. And lighthouses do not only guide ships to safety, they also reveal the position of the rocks. Your light is irritating the demons in others. Have you noticed people becoming irrationally angry with you for no apparent reason? Have you seen friends lash out when you have done nothing but offer kindness? This is not about you. It is the shadows within them reacting violently to the light within you. They are not attacking you. They are attacking the frequency that reminds them of what they have lost or what they refuse to face. Neville Goddard spoke of occupying the state. You have occupied a state of being that is foreign to this world's systems of control. By refusing to be offended, by refusing to engage in the petty wars of the ego, you have starved the parasites that once fed on your emotional turmoil. You are effectively fasting from the drama that sustains the lower astral planes. And a starving enemy is a desperate enemy. This is why the silence is so heavy. They are recalculating. They know they cannot trigger you with the old buttons, so they will try to lure you into spiritual pride. They will whisper that you are better than others, that you are a savior, that you are untouchable. This is the trap of the golden ego. It is the forbidden frequency, distorted. To maintain this power, you must remain in a state of radical humility. You must remember that you are not the source of the power. You are the conduit. The moment you believe the power is yours to hoard or wield for dominance, the flow stops and the water becomes stagnant. If this warning resonates with you, share this message with someone who might also be walking this thin line between power and pride. We are entering a phase where your ability to imagine, To truly see the end from the beginning is merging with this transmuting power. You are no longer just reacting to the world. You are projecting a new world over the old one. The forbidden frequency is actually the frequency of Eden, the original state of dominion where man walked with God in the cool of the day. You are bringing that state back into a fallen world. This is why you feel tired. You are holding a template of perfection in a world of imperfection. It takes immense energy to be a tuning fork for the divine. But rest assured, the supply is infinite. As you continue to walk this path, you will find that the energy you need does not come from food or sleep alone. It comes from the act of doing the work itself. The more you love, the more love you have. The more peace you offer, the more peace settles in your bones. It is the paradox of the kingdom, and as February 8th marks this turning point, know that the observation period is ending. The entities are realizing they cannot solve the puzzle of you. Soon they will retreat, leaving you in a space of sovereign power. But in that vacuum, in that newfound quiet, a new question will arise, one that will determine the trajectory of your soul for the next 7 years. The question is not, how do I survive? But rather, what will I build now that I am free? This question terrifies the ego because the ego knows how to fight, but it does not know how to cultivate. For years, perhaps decades, your identity has been forged in the fires of survival. You have been the warrior, the survivor, the one who endures. You have worn your scars like armor, and rightly so, for they are evidence of your resilience. But a warrior without a war is a restless ghost. If you do not consciously choose what to build next, your subconscious mind, addicted to the adrenaline of battle, will manifest a new enemy just to give you something to do. This is the danger of the vacuum. The entities have retreated, yes, but nature abhors a vacuum. If you do not fill this newfound space with the frequency of creation, the old patterns will rush back in, not because they are powerful, but because they are familiar. You are standing at the threshold of a completely new way of existing, one where struggle is not the prerequisite for value. To navigate this transition without sabotaging yourself requires a map that most of us were never given. We were taught how to labor, but not how to receive. We were taught how to fix, but not how to flow. This is precisely where the true work begins, and it is a work of subtle internal engineering rather than brute force. If you feel that you are ready to stop fighting the old ghosts and start constructing a reality that honors your soul, I invite you to explore the trilogy I have prepared for this specific phase of your journey, The 3 Keys to a Prosperous Life. This represents a comprehensive guide, available as both an e-book and audiobook, designed to help the chosen awaken to their true nature and heal the invisible traumas that keep the door to abundance closed. It is a practical blueprint for learning how to receive without guilt, sustain what you are given, and multiply your blessings with stability. If you are tired of the cycle of gain and loss, look for the link in the pinned comment or description below. This is your invitation to master the mechanics of a life well lived. As we return to this concept of building, we must address the biology of your belief systems. You see, your nervous system has likely been wired for hypervigilance. When you are in a state of constant spiritual warfare, your body is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. Over time, your cells become desensitized to these chemicals, requiring more and more chaos just to feel normal. But when the peace finally arrives, that heavy golden silence we spoke of, it can feel terrifyingly like boredom. You might find yourself feeling anxious when things are going well, waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is not intuition, this is withdrawal. Your body is detoxing from the addiction to stress. This is a critical juncture where many fall back. They subconsciously provoke an argument, make a reckless financial decision, or sabotage a relationship simply to generate the chemical spike of chaos that their body craves. You must recognize this sensation for what it is, the dying gasp of the old self. When you feel that itch to disrupt your own peace, hold your ground. Breathe into the discomfort of the stillness. You are retraining your biology to run on the fuel of inspiration rather than the fuel of desperation. This is what it means to renew your mind. It is physical as much as it is spiritual. You are literally growing new neural pathways that allow you to tolerate joy. It sounds strange to say that joy must be tolerated, but for those who have walked through the valley of the shadow for as long as you have, joy can feel like a foreign invader. It feels unsafe because it requires vulnerability. Armor protects you, but it also isolates you. To build, you must take off the armor and pick up the trowel. This requires a level of courage that far exceeds the courage needed to fight. It is the courage to be seen, the courage to hope, and the courage to trust that the ground will not crumble beneath you. As you begin to construct this new life, you will notice that your ability to manifest is accelerating. This is part of the forbidden frequency. Because you have cleared so much density, there is less resistance between your thought and its materialization. This is a double-edged sword. If you focus on fear, it will manifest quicker than before. If you focus on expansion, it will arrive with breathtaking speed. This is why the discipline of the mind is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity. You can no longer afford the indulgence of negative spirals. You must become the guardian of your own imagination. Neville Goddard taught that imagination is God in action. When you imagine, you are not just daydreaming, you are issuing a command to the quantum field. The entities know this. That is why they tried to keep you in fear, to hijack your God-given machinery and use it to create their hell. Now that you have reclaimed the machinery, you must learn to operate it with precision. Consider the concept of the architect. The architect does not lay bricks randomly. He has a plan. He sees the finished structure before the ground is even broken. You must become the architect of your next 7 years. What does the sanctuary of your life look like? Do not just think about the objects, the house, the car, the money. Think about the feeling of the space. What is the texture of your mornings? What is the quality of your conversations? Who is sitting at your table? If this vision stirs something deep within you, take a moment to like this video, as it signals to the algorithm and to your own subconscious that you are aligning with the archetype of the builder. The people around you will sense this shift. As you move from the defensive posture of the warrior to the constructive posture of the architect, the way people relate to you will change again. Some who stood by you during the war will drift away during the peace. This is painful, but it is necessary. Some people bond over trauma. They do not know how to connect through prosperity. If you insist on dragging them into your new timeline, you will only lower your frequency to match theirs. You must love them from a distance. You must allow them their own journey. Remember, you are a conduit, not a savior. You cannot save anyone by drowning with them. Your greatest service to the world is to thrive, to become a living demonstration of what is possible when one aligns with the divine. Your life is the sermon. There is a specific trap that appears at this stage, disguised as responsibility. It is the temptation to fix the world before you have stabilized your own foundation. You may feel a rush of power and think, I must use this to heal everyone, but a house built on sand cannot shelter anyone. You must first secure your own perimeter. You must establish a reservoir of energy, finance, and emotional stability that is so abundant it overflows naturally. Do not scoop from your own cup to feed others. Let them drink from the saucer. If you deplete yourself now, the entities will return, finding you exhausted and vulnerable. Self-preservation in this phase is not selfishness, it is stewardship. You are the steward of a rare and precious frequency. Protect it as you would a flame in a windstorm. Let us speak of the forbidden frequency in the context of time. You are stepping out of linear time, where cause leads to effect in a slow, grinding chain, and into vertical time. In vertical time, you connect with the version of yourself that already exists in the finished state. You are not trying to become wealthy. You are tuning into the version of you that is already abundant. You are not trying to find love. You are tuning into the version of you that is already whole. This is the secret that the systems of control do not want you to know. You do not create the future, you select it. All possible timelines exist simultaneously in the eternal now. Your frequency is the selector. When you dwell in gratitude, you select the timeline where there is more to be grateful for. When you dwell in resentment, you select the timeline of injustice. This brings us to the subtle art of revision. You can change the past, not the facts of what happened, but the emotional charge and the meaning of what happened. Go back in your mind to the moments of your greatest pain. Do not look at them as a victim. Look at them as the architect. See how that betrayal forced you to find your own strength. See how that loss cleared the space for something new. When you change the meaning of the past, you change your trajectory in the present. You are untying the knots of karma. You are liberating your energy from the frozen states of trauma. This releases a massive amount of power that was previously trapped in maintaining your history. Suddenly, you have the energy to build. As you engage in this work, you may experience physical symptoms. The body is the densest part of your being, and it is the last to catch up to a shift in frequency. You might experience sudden waves of heat, ringing in the ears that changes pitch, or a sudden intolerance for certain foods or alcohol. You may find that you need more sleep, or conversely, that you wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning with a mind full of clarity. Do not pathologize these symptoms. Your nervous system is upgrading its voltage capacity. You are literally embodying more light. The forbidden frequency is high voltage. If you were to run this amount of energy through your old nervous system, it would fry the circuits. The fatigue you feel is the body saying, "System update in progress, please wait. Honor the rest." The bear hibernates before it emerges. You are in the chrysalis. The world outside will continue its chaotic dance. The news will scream, the markets will fluctuate, and the masses will be swept up in waves of collective fear. But you will stand in the eye of the storm. This is the peace that passes all understanding. It makes no logical sense to be calm when the world is burning, but that is exactly why it is a superpower. Your calm is contagious. Without saying a word, your presence will de-escalate conflicts. Your gaze will soothe the anxious. Animals and children will be drawn to you because they can sense the safety in your field. This is the true dominion of Eden. It is not ruling over others. It is ruling over your own internal atmosphere so completely that it influences the atmosphere around you. However, be warned, this light attracts moths as well as butterflies. You will attract people who are hungry for your light but have no intention of generating their own. These are the energy vampires or siphons. They will come to you with endless dramas, asking for advice they never take, demanding your time and attention. They want to feed on your forbidden frequency because it tastes like life. You must develop boundaries of steel. Your no must be as holy as your yes. Do not cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them and turn to tear you to pieces. That ancient scripture is a metaphysical law. If you give high-level spiritual energy to those who are committed to low-level consciousness, they will not thank you. They will attack you. Why? Because your light exposes their shadow, and the shadow reacts with aggression. Recognize that your circle will become smaller, but it will become deeper. You are looking for your tribe, the other builders, the other architects. They are out there. They are also waking up, rubbing the sleep from their eyes and asking, "What will I build?" You will find them not by searching frantically, but by beaming your signal clearly. Like attracts like. As you embody your true self, you become a magnet for those who resonate with that truth. The connections you make in this next phase will not be karmic entanglements based on shared wounds. They will be dharmic alliances based on shared purpose. These relationships will feel easy. There will be no drama, no games, just a mutual recognition of sovereignty. If you are finding resonance in these words, consider subscribing to the channel. It serves as a digital anchor, keeping you tethered to this stream of consciousness amidst the noise of the internet. Now let us look at the 7-year cycle mentioned earlier. In the ancient wisdom traditions, time moves in cycles of 7. You have likely just completed a 7-year cycle of dismantling, of shedding, of survival. The next 7 years are the cycle of establishment. This is the Joseph cycle. Years of plenty, where you store up grain, not out of fear of famine, but to have the resources to feed the world when the famine comes for others. This is the time to build assets, intellectual assets, financial assets, spiritual assets. Do not be afraid of money. Money is simply currency. It is energy in motion. In the hands of the unconscious, it destroys. In the hands of the chosen, it builds cathedrals, it feeds the hungry, it funds the revolution of consciousness. You must heal your relationship with resources. Poverty is not piety, it is a restriction of flow. The forbidden frequency includes the frequency of abundance because Eden was a garden of infinite supply. To access this supply, you must operate from the state of having rather than wanting. Wanting implies lack. Having implies gratitude. When you pray, do not beg. Begging reinforces the belief that you do not have. Instead, give thanks. Thank you that it is done. Thank you for the health that is flowing through me. Thank you for the resources that are on their way. This is the prayer of the Master. It collapses the waveform. It pulls the future into the present. You are bending reality with your gratitude. There is a specific shadow aspect you must confront as you step into this power, the shadow of the imposter. As you rise, a voice will whisper, "Who do you think you are? You are just a broken person. You have made mistakes. You are a fraud." This is the final defense mechanism of the Matrix. It uses your own humility against you. You must answer that voice with the truth. I am not my past. I am not my mistakes. I am the I am. You are the awareness observing the life, not the debris floating in the river. Do not debate with the inner critic. Simply observe it and return your focus to the building. The critic talks, the architect builds. Eventually, the sound of the construction will drown out the sound of the criticism. You are also being called to a higher level of integrity. In the old world, you might have gotten away with small compromises, little white lies, cutting corners, ignoring your intuition. In the forbidden frequency, the feedback loop is instant. If you step out of integrity, you will feel it immediately in your body. The sickness, the anxiety, the confusion will hit you instantly. This is a blessing. It is the guardrails keeping you on the path. You are becoming too powerful to be careless. Your words carry weight now. Your intentions carry momentum. You must wield them with the precision of a surgeon. Consider the concept of the witness. In your daily life, try to maintain a dual consciousness. Be in the movie, acting your part, feeling your emotions, but simultaneously be the audience watching the movie. Watch yourself get angry. Watch yourself get excited. This slight detachment creates a buffer zone between stimulus and response. In that buffer zone lies your freedom. The entities cannot hook you if you are watching the game rather than just playing it. They need you to be unconscious, reactive, a puppet on a string. When you become the witness, you cut the strings. You become the puppeteer of your own avatar. This shift into the role of the puppeteer, the conscious operator of your reality, brings us to the mastery of attention. Your attention is the most valuable currency in the universe. Billions of dollars are spent every year by corporations and algorithms just to capture a fraction of your attention. Why? Because where attention goes, energy flows. Whatever you attend to, you feed. If you attend to the outrage on the news, you feed the egregore of fear. If you attend to the beauty of a sunset, you feed the egregore of peace within yourself. You must become ruthless with your attention. Do not scroll mindlessly. Do not engage in circular arguments. Treat your attention like a high-powered laser beam. Point it only at what you wish to amplify. This is the essence of fasting from the drama. It is not just about what you eat, it is about what you consume mentally and emotionally. Are you consuming toxicity? Are you consuming fear porn? Or are you consuming wisdom, beauty, and truth? The forbidden frequency is sustained by a diet of high-frequency impressions. You cannot build a temple if you are bringing in garbage as building materials. Curate your feed, curate your friends, curate your thoughts. As you deepen this practice, you will discover the power of silence. Not just the absence of noise, but a pregnant, living silence. In the silence, you can hear the instructions for your next step. The divine does not shout, it whispers. It speaks in hunches, in synchronicities, in sudden knowings. You have been trained to ignore these signals in favor of logic and external authority. But logic can only analyze the past. Intuition can navigate the future. You must learn to trust the illogical nudge. The crazy idea to drive a different way home, the sudden urge to call an old friend, the inexplicable hesitation to sign a contract. These are the whispers of your higher self, guiding you through the